What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily Texans content. Really appreciate that. And yeah, let's just get straight into this video. The topic of this video is, does the Arrowhead rust exist? I've been hearing a lot of national kind of media heads, media pundits, whatever, talk about, the Chiefs haven't played, Patrick Mahomes hasn't played a game in a real football game since Christmas, December 25th. Obviously the Texans just played last week. Is there any advantage to that? Is there any potential for rust? And before I talk about this and kind of break down how I thought about this, I want to just come out here and say, like, rust to me does not mean that the team that's rusty loses, like, at all. That is not the case. And I'm not necessarily saying that every time a team rests, that rest equals rust. I would like to think that, especially in the situation right now. But for me, what I see rust as is, the other team or the team that's rusty comes out and for maybe one or two drives, you're seeing like a lot of maybe some dropped passes, some easy blocking assignments that aren't getting picked up. You're seeing just like miscommunications between like, various players on the field at one moment. Like that's what I think rust is, right? I'm not sitting here and saying that because a team is rusty, they are going to automatically lose or give up big plays constantly or big touchdowns. I'm just talking about like little miscues. And don't get me wrong, it would be really nice if we go to Arrowhead this Saturday and the Chiefs are, missing on some miscues. They're not, they're missing assignments and things like that. That would be really nice. But we do have to kind of think about, A, how realistic is this to happen? And B, do we think it's going to happen? So to kind of talk through these points, I've put up this little crude kind of little Google Doc, and it's Chiefs divisional games as the one seed since 2018. 2018 is when Patrick Mahomes became a starter, and these are only the times they were the one seed. So again, having that bye, coming off some rest or rust, whatever, however you want to think of it. So the first time they had it under Patrick Mahomes was in 2018. They dropped 2 touchdowns on the Colts in the first quarter. Then they also outscored the Colts in the second quarter. Ironically, the next time, you would say they were rusty during the Texans, and I do think it's very ironic how the one time I think the Chiefs were rusty was against the Houston Texans team, and they ended up completely destroying the Houston Texans once that rust wore off. So again, not saying that if you're rusty, you're automatically going to lose the game. It's not what happened here. But this is kind of the first instance where we do see, okay, yeah, they're rusty. 2020, slower game, but they do take the lead in the first quarter and add on to that significantly in the second quarter in a fairly low scoring game. And then against the Jags, they're tied in the first quarter, but do pull away in the second and a little bit more in the third. So, and then of course, 2024 is, coming up. Don't know what happens then. So, one couple things I want you to notice about this: the Chiefs are winning by the second quarter in every single one of these games. So you can, again, by the second quarter, even against the Texans, they're winning by the end of the second quarter in every single one of these games. And so, if we're watching that game on Saturday and the Chiefs are winning in the second quarter, that would kind of point to some things. Now, the one game I do want to break down is going to be this Houston Texans game because, like I said, ironically, this was the game where they seemed to be the most rusty, just going by kind of scoreboard watching and kind of just looking at some of the major plays. And so I do want to dive into it a bit, kind of bring up some bad memories. I'm sure every Texans fan can remember where they were. I remember exactly what restaurant. I was at Willie's. I was eating a burger and I was watching the TV screen with some family and some friends. And we ended up leaving, leaving in the third quarter because we were not doing too hot. We're not too happy. Like I remember exactly where I was during this game. But it started off. We got the ball, opening drive touchdown. The script worked. Everything was awesome. Chiefs get the ball and they went 3-and-out. Now Kelsey on the 3rd and 10 or third and whatever it was would have had a first down. He dropped a pass, and that's what you're looking for when you consider a team rusty. You're looking at, are they dropping passes? Are there just kind of simple miscues? And going on to this game, you'll see after Kelsey drops that, what would have been a first down, he drops it, they punt. Guess what? The punt is blocked. The Texans recover and they score. So again, another miscue. Special teams, not blocking. The Chiefs get it again. Now they pick up a couple of first downs. and then Robinson drops a pass that would have been a first down, and instead they have to punt. And so they punt, we punt, and on our punt, Tyreek Hill muffs it, and so we score again. It's now 21-0. So I'm not even sure if you could consider this rust at this point. This is more kind of just like a collapse of the Chiefs. And I'm sure I was thinking, oh, this is a runaway game. Fortunately, it wasn't. So anyway, the Chiefs get it. There's another drop on 1st and 10. So this is the Chiefs drive directly after Tyreek Hill muffs. So there's a drop on 1st and 10. There's a drop on 2nd and 10. Ultimately, they have to give the ball up to us. They have to punt it. And then we get the ball and we score a field goal. We go up 24-0. So this is the game where you're looking at the Chiefs and you're starting to see their mortal. You're starting to see that maybe having all that time off wasn't a great idea or a great thing for them. Not an idea, just like wasn't that good for them. Considering how this is the second year into Patrick Mahomes' career being the starter for KC. And then we go on to get outscored 51-7. And that's pretty evident. We kick this field goal right here, and they score 28 on us in the next part of this second quarter, and they outscore us 51-7 in all. So yeah, brutal. Again, not exactly what you want to see. One thing I'll note while watching this game is Mahomes was not rusty at all. This was not a Mahomes issue. It was a receiver issue. Everyone was dropping passes, big special teams issues, muffed punts and stuff like that. Tyreek Hill was definitely rusty with some drop passes and some muffed punts. So yeah, it's just kind of ironic how, and again, this is why I'm saying rust isn't everything, but it is ironic how the one time the Chiefs genuinely looked just distraught at Arrowhead, they go ahead and put 51 on you starting in the second quarter. But to kind of bring this back to this season in 2024, look, I don't think this is a Chiefs team that can sustain an early 24-0 lead. And I don't think the Texans are going to go up 24-0. But for people saying that, the Chiefs rust isn't a thing and rest doesn't equal rust, it's happened before. That's the one scenario I can tell you where it's happened. And, I think we have to start looking at this not as if Mahomes himself is going to be rusty, because you can just bet your money that that's not going to be the case. But you can start to wonder if some of those receivers, maybe Hollywood Brown, I mean, he's really only played like one real game this whole season because of his injury and coming back from that. So, like, will Hollywood Brown be a little rusty? Xavier Worthy being a rookie, like, he hasn't played since Christmas too. Maybe Noah Gray, the tight end. Will Kelsey come out looking flat? I mean, he looked flat in that game. So you have to start to wonder about those kind of pieces of the Chiefs. They're definitely not immune to it. I mean, they're all human. That's what I love telling people, is that, hey, Mahomes is a human. He's not a demigod. No, it does seem like that at times though. But yeah, and all I'm saying this all to point, like, if you're asking me and you had to tell me, like, what do you think the percentage is? I say there's like a 60% chance that the Chiefs come out somewhat rusty. I just think that's the reality. You haven't played since December. I think I would put it at about 60% chance. A lot of people, that might be lower, but again, I'm saying this all to say that this means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, the Chiefs could very well go 3-and-out on the first 2 or 3 drives and still destroy us. Like, that's very well a possibility. But it would be nice if they didn't start destroying us right away. So I know I've kind of blabbered about this topic for a while, and just kind of wanted to give you guys some tangible things to look at and basically tell you that it has happened before. The Chiefs have showed up to this game just straight rusty. Didn't go well for the Texans, ironically, though. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Chiefs are immune to rust? Do you think rest equals rust? And do you think that if the Chiefs kind of come out on more of a flatter note, that the Texans can currently take advantage of it? Because that's another question in and of itself. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace out.